Hey guys, for this question, there is a bunch of different things that you guys are going to be able to, or going to have to be able to identify on a graph. So these are the 5 things right here: the coordinates of the vertex, the axis of symmetry, y-intercept, zeros, and max and min value. So going through your lesson, the example that you got to do, so you just got to experiment with quadratic equations, moving it around and stuff, so you were able to see how the different values change based on how you move the slider, which was pretty cool. But I felt like it didn't really explain what these different things were, so this is my explanation. If you got it, that's fantastic. If you didn't, definitely take note. So when it says the coordinates of the vertex, so that's the point of the most max or min value that it can be. So what I'm actually going to do, sorry, I'm going to back up a little bit. I'm going to go for this first equation. I'm going to actually graph it. I'm going to use Desmos because I find Desmos better. Y is equal to x squared plus 6x plus 8. Okay, so here's my graph. We just plugged her in, that's perfect. So the vertex is the point which it starts changing direction. So it needs to be a coordinate. So as you can see, the parabola is coming down, it's coming down, then it switches and starts going back up. I can't, when I, oh wait, yes I can. So it's coming down, coming down, coming down, coming down, and then at this point it starts changing direction. It's going, from this point it's going down, and then it starts coming up again. That's my vertex, okay? As you can see, there's already a dot there. So that's my vertex there. It's -3, -1. It needs to be a coordinate. Oops, that's my dog. So the coordinates of the vertex, as I said, it needs to be a coordinate, so that means it has to be xy. I don't know why it's not working. Why can't I write there? Sorry, clearly I haven't typed and written in the same spot. I have no idea. Okay, well, that makes things a little bit more difficult. Anyway, so the coordinates of the vertex is the point where it starts to change direction. So like we said, based off the equation that I just did, was -3, -1. So that's my vertex, okay? And again, it has to be an xy. So -3, oops, -1. So that's my vertex. Okay, so the equation of the axis of symmetry. So when I see the axis of symmetry, I always think of it as where the point starts changing direction. Okay, so when it's like, it's very similar like the vertex. At which point does it start changing on my x-axis? So I always see it as, where can I put a mirror? So when I put it on the mirror, it looks exactly the same in the mirror and as it does behind the mirror. Now I hope that makes sense. So if I were to put a mirror up, where would I place it so it looks the exact same on the other side of the graph and my mirror? Hopefully you guys are able to visualize this. If I were to put a mirror up, it would be at my point of -3, because it would look the exact same of the reflection and it would look like that behind the mirror. So to put the answer for this, the equation of the axis of symmetry, you do x is equal to -3. Oops, 3. Okay, so that's the answer for that one. The y-intercept, where does it cross the y line? Just like we did with y is equal to mx plus b, it's the same here. There should only be one y-intercept. Sometimes the y-intercept's so high or so low that we wouldn't be able to determine it. But where does it cross? It crosses it right there. So 0, 8. So again, it needs to be a coordinate. 0, 8. Oops, there we go. The zeros, what does the zeros mean? The zeros is when it means when y is equal to 0. Okay, so where it is on my x line. So if we go here, y is equal to 0, okay? Because here x is equal to 0. Remember, it's xy. Here my y's are equal to 0. Where does it cross my x-axis? It's also known as the roots. So if you hear what are the roots, this is also what it means. They're the exact same thing. So again, depending the graph, there could be none, there could be 1, or there could be 2. In this case, as you see, there are 2. So what are my zeros? It's -4, 0, and -2, 0. Okay? So -4, comma, 0, bracket, space, voila. There are my zeros. Okay? As I said, sometimes there's 1, sometimes there's none, and that's okay. So the max or min value, there's only one or the other. You can't have a max and a min when it comes to parabolas. So take a look here. As you can see, the graph's going down. Well, if it's going down, would we have a max or a min? I really hope you said min. So you're right. It's a minimum. And what's my lowest possible point? Well, that has to deal with my y value. The lowest point it absolutely reaches is -1. So if you said -1, I'm absolutely impressed. So a min value, so I'm just going to do min of -1. Okay? And that's how you answer those questions for these examples that you have here, okay? And then this is what I'll expect you to do with respect to any future work that you have to do. Another thing that I'm going to add in, so here is the same picture here. I do want to bring it up just a little bit. I had it down just so it wasn't in the way, but now we can use it, so it's good. So one thing that I want to picture out, hopefully I can do this now. I might not be able to, and if that's the case, I am sorry. I was really hoping I can highlight. I guess I can't highlight if I start text or start a text, so that's really annoying. And I could write it out, but it looks super messy. So the coordinates of the vertex is -3, -1. So as you can see, this was our vertex right here. I know I can draw on this one because it's a picture. Okay. Oops. Okay, so that's our vertex right there. What I can do is I can do vertex. What was our order? Vertex, axis of symmetry, hopefully you got that. Zeros, the y-intercept, and what was my last one? Vertex, axis symmetry, y-intercept, zeros, and the max or min. Okay, so vertex, green. Okay? Axis of symmetry, so that's the line that I said goes directly through the parabola where it'd be like a mirror. So I'd always set it up like this. Where does it perfectly fit? So it looks the same on one side as it does the other. It would be right there. I know the line's a little bit off. Bear with me. Okay, so that's my axis of symmetry, and it's always my x value. So, as you can see, in this case, it's -3. Well, it's the same -3 as it is in my vertex. Ho ho, fancy dancy, I know. Okay, my zeros, as we said, it's where they cross the x-axis, so it's always those 2 points there. My y-intercept, it crosses the y line, the y-axis, you guys should know that. And my max or min, let's do a little purple, I like purple. As we said, it's either max or min, so in this case it's a minimum because it's a down dip, and it's always with respect to our y-axis, which you can see is our y value in our vertex. Fancy dancy. I know. Hopefully that helps you guys out a little bit. If not, again, ask questions if needed. I am here for your help. But yeah, hopefully that made a lot more sense.